please, even if tonight you could fill out that survey and have it back to us before you leave, that would be a wonderful thing. One of the very interesting pieces that we're putting together now, and we've already done a couple, is our TV show. You might want to take a look around. There are some cameras in the room here tonight. Some of them might be press, some of them, one of them could very well be the camera that we've got on this event tonight for the TV show that we run. We do this for small businesses. It's a very interesting program. We've already done about 3 of them, and tonight will probably be televised, and we can tell you more. Stop by our table, please, in the front, and you can get more details on the broadcast. Without further ado, I'm not going to go any farther because this is not a talk session tonight. We want to be sure that you get an opportunity to speak with everyone here. So I am going to introduce Mark Lesko, Supervisor, Town of Brookhaven. Mark? It's
certainly a pleasure to be here tonight. This is a wonderful event. It always is a wonderful event. Thank you, Bob, for coordinating this. Let's give Bob a big round of applause for coordinating this wonderful event. And, you know, this is a huge, huge day in the town of Brookhaven for economic development and for job creation in this township. Earlier today, I attended the ribbon cutting at the U.S. Rail facility, the intermodal rail terminal at Yaphank, that's going to create hundreds, if not thousands, of jobs, providing a new 21st century way to move product on and off Long Island. Incredibly excited about that project. And not only is that project a wonderful project, it signals and shows everyone that in the town of Brookhaven we can get it done when it comes to economic development and job creation. Just a moment ago, I was incredibly proud to unveil our new website, jobhaven.org, which provides one-stop shopping for residents who are seeking employment in the town of Brookhaven. This is an idea I've had for months now, and I'm just so pleased that we're able to unveil this. And the idea is relatively simple. We've researched this, and there really aren't any jobs boards or employment websites focused particularly on Brookhaven, providing Brookhaven residents information about Brookhaven employers. And in particular, there are no jobs boards that I'm aware of that have interactive message boards so that job seekers can interact with specific employers about job openings to see if it's appropriate for them to apply. So we hope that this is going to provide a new array of opportunities for job seekers and employers, provide you, small business owners, with an opportunity to post your job listings online. I would urge you to register and join the website. I'm particularly excited about the application of this website for small businesses. The larger employers in the township, they all have their employment pages, or they advertise job openings in various publications or websites. Small businesses, and I'm sure there are many small business owners here today, don't have that luxury. They may not have their own website. They may not have the budget to go out and get their job listings out into the public domain. Well, now you'll be able to do it simply by, and this is free, by registering on our website. You can post your job listing and hopefully attract interest among residents of the town of Brookhaven. We're not limiting it to Brookhaven, but the focus is obviously on Brookhaven. I'd like to just take a minute. I'm very excited about this. I apologize up front, but I want to kind of walk you through this pretty quickly because there's some really cool aspects to this. First, we have the Find the Job function, and it's broken out by major industry types. And let's go down to, for instance, technology. And let's say someone's looking for a software engineer job. They'll go down to the listing, and by the way, these listings are updated constantly, so they're up to date and they're current. And you link on the job posting, it takes you right to the online posting itself. Same is true for the top listing, and it gives you all the information, contact information, and dates, deadlines, and so forth. So the next link is to our informational page regarding small businesses. It links you to our IDA's website, our BBAC's website, which is relatively new. Let's take a little peek here. This is a pretty cool website. It gives a lot of information about small businesses. Many of you know about this website already. SCORE, the retired executives who do the mentoring for the small businesses, and it provides information about our wonderful Small Business Development Center at Stony Brook, and many of you are very familiar with Gloria and all her wonderful people at the SBDC. Then we have a whole array of useful links. We're building this website up as we speak. It's going to be interactive, so it's going to grow, but we've started out with general job search websites, government job search websites like the federal government jobs listed at USA Jobs, union links. We're going to include some apprenticeship program links, large employers like hospitals, research institutions, and large companies in Brookhaven, linking directly to their employment pages so you can see their job listings real time. But I would say, for me, the most exciting part of this job site, this jobhaven.org, is the message board. And so you'll have companies register, posting their specific job listings. So let's take a look. We actually have 3 that have already registered. And I should note that just based on the small article in today's Newsday, we already have over 200 people registered on our website, and it's not even up and running yet. So we think this is going to be pretty exciting. But let's take a look at OptiSource, a company that's already registered, and they have posted 5 listings. And you can go into that listing, and you can see what the senior sales, inside sales representative listing is. And if you were actually registered, I can't do that here, but there would be a box in the upper right corner that would let you post a reply, and it would send an email to the company, and you would be able to interact with their HR director or so forth. So we think this is going to be a tremendous catalyst for increasing job production. We know that many of you have open jobs, and the problem is finding those good potential employees. The other thing that I was particularly concerned about were employees that are out of work that have given up, that are fatigued, that are frustrated. We want to give them a new vehicle to find out all of the job listings in the town of Brookhaven, and hopefully they'll find something that suits them. So we're incredibly excited about that. And then to bookend this day, with the rail facility, unveiling of jobhaven.org, is this wonderful event, which is always so filled with energy. And I would suggest to you, and I've said this earlier today, that you should mark your calendars here today. And when you look back, you'll note this date is the date that we started turning around our local economy here in Brookhaven. It's a date that small businesses came together at the expo. It's a date that we launched jobhaven.org. It's a day that we announced a 21st century rail facility in the town of Brookhaven financed by private dollars. And you'll look back and you'll say to yourself, I can pinpoint the day when the economy started turning around the town of Brookhaven, and it was September 27th, 2011. So I'm proud to be here. I'm proud to see each and every one of you. Many of you I know personally. I want to thank Bruce Newman for his stewardship, his leadership at the BBAC. Bruce. And one of the things that was discussed at the U.S. Rail event earlier today is how critically important it is to have a United States congressman who gets it when it comes to economic development, who will support good projects like the U.S. Rail project, not just in word but in deed, and provide essential financial support and other support for those type of projects. I've seen it time and time again, whether it's the ERA funded recovery zone bonds that allowed us to drop dry sewer lines in East Patchogue, tying in the East Patchogue community to the sewage treatment plant in the village of Patchogue, to a vast array of projects that Congressman Tim Bishop has been responsible for. He's I can't think of a stronger supporter of small business and business generally in the town of Brookhaven, and I'm just honored and pleased to be able to introduce our keynote speaker tonight, Congressman Tim Bishop.
Well, good evening to all of you, and thank you very much for coming out. And let me start by thanking Mark for that very kind introduction and commending him for this website. It is precisely the kind of thing that we need to be doing, and I want to commend Mark and his colleagues on the town board for their vision and their leadership. And let us hope, A, that this works. I'm confident it will, but let us also hope that it serves as a model for what other municipalities can do to help their residents. I also want I want to thank and commend the BBAC for putting together this event, and commend their chair, Bob Larson, and commend their leader, Bruce Newman, and thank them for this opportunity. I'm going to be very quick. I'm going to talk about three things. I want to talk to you about what is in the proposed American Jobs Act for small businesses. This is the legislation that has been submitted to the Congress by the President that is hopefully, if we can pass it, will have the impact of, most economists have estimated that it will add somewhere between 1 million and 1.9 million jobs, and have also estimated that it will raise GDP by about 1 point to 1.5 points. So, and by the way, every point of GDP is about $25 billion in federal tax revenue. So let me just quickly point out what's in there for small businesses. Number one, it would cut the Social Security payroll tax for employers in half, from 6.2% to 3.1% on the first 5 million of wages. Most small businesses have payrolls below 5 million, so most small businesses would benefit fully from this. If you have a payroll in excess of 5 million, it would be reduced on the first 5 million. It would also eliminate the entire 6.2 payroll tax for any growth in payroll up to 50 million above the prior year, and whether that growth is achieved by paying employees more or by hiring employees. Any growth in payroll up to 50 million will be exempt from the entire 6.2% Social Security withholding. It extends 100% expensing into 2012. This is a provision that first began in the Recovery Act, then was extended once the Recovery Act expired, and now would be extended again so that businesses could deduct the full value of any equipment or capital investments in year one. It proposes a tax credit for small businesses for hiring unemployed veterans who have been looking for work for more than 6 months. It's called the Returning Heroes Tax Credit, and it would provide a tax credit of up to $5,600. It proposes a tax credit for hiring unemployed workers with service-connected disabilities who have been looking for work for more than 6 months. That's the Wounded Warrior Tax Credit, which would be up to $9,600. And finally, it provides a tax credit of up to $4,000 for hiring the long-term unemployed. I say all of this is proposed. It is all in the legislation that the President has proposed that hopefully we will be considering when we return. We're in recess this week. Hopefully we'll be considering it when we return from recess next week. Two other things. A big piece of whether or not businesses will be able to hire, whether or not businesses will be able to expand, is rooted in whether or not there is sufficient demand. So the other piece of both this piece of legislation as well as Recovery Act has been designed to put more money into circulation, whether it be by the federal government becoming, in effect, the spender of last resort, or whether it be by reducing taxes so that people have more money in their pocket and hopefully will spend it. The same payroll tax deduction offered to employers in the legislation would also be offered to employees, that they would pay, and instead of paying 6.2%, which was the rate for 2009,